What's up, guys? This is the Geek Speak show. My name is Lex, and I'm here with Peter. Peter, how are you doing, and how are you enjoying the con?
I'm doing great. Real fun time here.
Awesome. And is this your first con, or are you pretty much a trooper at this point?
No, I'm a first-time conner.
Nice. And how are you enjoying it?
Well,
is it strange, or are you actually really enjoying the crowds?
I guess I should say that we did go to the premiere of Star Trek at a Comic-Con a few years ago.
Nice.
And so I got the sense of who I would see wandering around and how they'd be dressed.
Okay, so you do have an understanding about how serious people get with the whole cosplay and all of that.
Large weapons and no clothes is fine.
Exactly. I was actually supposed to cosplay this time around. I've been to quite a few cons at this point, but once again, I came as a Geek Speak show host, unfortunately. I was a little lazy this year. But Peter, since I have you here, please tell the audience what projects you've worked on and what you do for these projects.
Well, I'm a sound editor, and I've worked on Game of Thrones, Season 2, the Fast and Furious franchise, the Paranormal Activity franchise, Last Witch Hunter, currently working on Aquaman with James Wan.
Nice. And then which was your personal favorite to work on so far?
I've gotten a lot of satisfaction out of the Fast and Furious franchise.
Really?
I have to say, for a guy in my business, where our bread and butter is loud things that explode or blow up or get shot to pieces,
totally,
or just involve gigantic fireballs, the Fast and Furious franchise has been very, very good to me.
I'm sure. And then which movie of the Fast and Furious franchise was your favorite specifically? I'm hitting you with all the questions.
pretty difficult. I couldn't choose an absolute favorite.
Okay.
But
That's
for
fair.
the whole, everything operating together,
The whole meat of it, yeah.
Five, I think was pretty
Okay.
tight.
Okay.
A
And
team, a heist.
Yes.
It's where the genre went from just being street racers and kind of moved onto a global scale. A team was assembled to do a heist. It involves something ridiculous, like dragging a 500-ton safe through the city of
I remember that.
Brazil, and paid off, and introduced the new character of The Rock. I mean, who doesn't love The Rock once in a while?
That's true. He actually is one of my favorite characters on the series itself. But what was
And Han was still
Yes.
alive. The good old days when
I'm
Han
glad
was
you
still
mentioned
alive.
That was definitely the worst part for me when they ended his poor little life on the franchise. He was my absolute favorite as well. But now The Rock is, since he's still kicking, So what was one of the biggest challenges you overcame, like, for example, filming for the fifth one, since that one was kind of your favorite?
I think one of the trickiest things, this is pretty geeky, but
I can take geeky. I'm here for a reason.
getting the sound of Dom's supercharger right was something that I feel like nobody had really done in a film before. People have had lots of sounds of large car engines, but the actual particular intricacies of the way air is stuffed into a supercharged engine with an 871 blower like on Dom's classic Charger.
Yeah.
We took some pains in going out, finding that exact car, putting microphones right on the supercharger so you could hear the suck of the air going into the engine, and then taking that, cutting it together, taking it to the mix, and having it all balance out so you could actually hear it, and then have people who love cars call me up and say, "Hey, you got that right. We really appreciate it."
That's probably a great feeling.
Very heartwarming.
Yeah.
No,
I'd imagine.
Getting something easy right is mildly satisfying. But when you do something difficult and people hear it and appreciate it, that's very satisfying stuff.
I actually didn't even know that much work goes into it, because from someone who doesn't know a lot about that field, I would think you would just maybe put a microphone on the car itself and just let it go, and that's the sound you use. But it's really interesting to hear kind of what else goes into it and how much hard work goes into it and everything. So thank you so much, Peter, for going over your projects and telling us a little bit about how sound actually works.
Well, thank you
so
very
much.
much.